Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a video about my goals and resolutions for 2026. We're just going to ignore the fact that it is the 27th of January today. Feeling really cozy, I've got coffee, I've got a candle lit, and yeah, I just wanted to make a little video about what goals I have for this year. I've sort of broken it down into like 5 categories and I've made a little list on my laptop, so that's why I'm looking over here. So the first sort of theme, I guess, is fitness and health, which I think is a very, very common resolution and goal for anyone in the new year. I think pretty much every year since I was about 15, 16, lose weight or get fit has been somewhere on my resolution list. And to be honest, it's just not been the healthiest way of thinking about it. It's extremely vague, and a lot of the time I didn't even need to worry about those things. So this time I've sort of been more specific about what the goals actually are, and hopefully that'll help me stick to them and increase my general fitness and be healthier this year. In terms of diet and eating, I'm going to be trying to focus more on whole foods. I've noticed over the last few years I do eat a lot of processed food, a lot of convenience food, because for the most part I'm just lazy, and I've sort of become more aware recently of how much like artificial stuff there is in a lot of food that we eat. So far this year I have been making the conscious effort to eat more whole foods, things that are unprocessed, and so far I really do feel like it's making a difference. Granted, we are like less than a month into the year, but I really do plan on continuing to do this. So for example, a lot of meals I've been having have been like meat and 2 veg, which is quite like traditional way of eating. So like I've had steak with like vegetables and potatoes, having chicken breast instead of like breaded chicken as well is another thing. And I've massively increased the amount of vegetables in my diet. Don't get me wrong, I've never been like a terrible eater, but just increasing that amount has really helped, and my body just feels generally better already. Moving on to like the fitness and workout side of things, I'm a gym girl. I've been going to the gym casually, pretty much consistently for almost about 2.5 years now. It's always been sort of sporadic, you know, I'm not really focusing on anything. I'm not working out to my fullest potential, and I know that. And I go through phases of like really pushing myself, and then phases where I just sort of get into the flow a bit, but I am pretty good at going to the gym generally. This year, one of my goals has been having, you know, set workout days for different workouts, different target areas, and to really get that progressive overload, you know, with the weights, really try and push myself as much as possible. And so far I've been doing that, and it's been great. I've actually been enjoying the gym a lot more because I really feel like what I'm doing is making a difference. So that is something that I want to continue doing for the rest of the year. Another thing with fitness and workouts is doing more cardio. I have extended my cardio day and cardio workout, so I am pushing myself more. I've started jogging and running on the treadmill at the gym, which is something I never thought I'd do because I've always despised running. The truth is, it turns out you are more capable than you think, and even though I was really dreading trying it, when I started doing it, I realised I actually can run, even though I spent my whole life saying I can't. Granted, I'm not good at it, but at least I'm doing something. In November, I did a charity challenge where I swam every day for the whole month of November. Well, almost the whole month, because I was also travelling at the start of it. And I really enjoyed that, so that is another thing that I sort of added to my fitness goals and resolutions, is to do more cardio activities that are fun, you know, swimming, playing different sports and getting outside more as well, because a lot of my exercise happens purely in the gym, and I'd like to be out and about doing stuff as well. So I've also like bullet pointed in my notes app a few targets that I want to reach, and these aren't things that are necessarily super difficult, but just goals that I want to do by the end of the year. So one of these, for example, is to be able to do 5 unassisted pull-ups. At the moment I can do none, but I have been doing assisted pull-ups, and I have been, you know, reducing the help on that. So it's a goal that I might get to by the end of the year, and something that I'm aiming for. I think I also put on there to run a 5k in under 40 minutes. Like I say, I'm not a runner, I'm not making any crazy goals, but I did manage to run a 5k without stopping. I think it was about 46 minutes, something like that. So I'd really like to get a bit fitter and take a bit of time off of that. So definitely making specific goals is something that's really helped me, and hopefully I will stick to them to the end of the year. I'm doing okay so far. So the next sort of category of goals is sort of my job and my future. That sounds really cringe, but you know what I mean. One of my goals at the start of the year, which actually had to be completed by a certain date, is to apply for university. So I submitted my UCAS earlier this year to study marketing, which is something I'm really excited about, and as time goes on I'm getting more and more excited about it, which is great because the last few years the thought of uni has really frightened me. So my other goals relating to that are, of course, planning where I'm going to live, sorting out student finance, all of those sorts of things, and then actually going and hopefully really enjoying it. The next thing is sort of related to my job and work. I've handed in my notice at where I'm currently working, and I will be staying until the start of the summer. One of my goals is to really put my all into that job. We'll have new people that are going to be hired, I'll be helping to train them, and I really want to make a big effort in doing those things before I leave. Finally, I've been lucky enough to get a job working with turtles in Greece. I'll be doing this for 3 months in the summer, and I'm so excited about it. I would leave tomorrow. So another one of my goals is to just really make the most of that and being there and learning and all of those sorts of things. I want to be good at the job, I want to put a lot of effort in. And yeah, I think that sort of ties together my future and work theme for my goals of this year. The next category for my goals is my hobbies. Now I sort of have two things in this category which are actually quite counterintuitive, but I'm going to try and explain it in a way of showing how I'm going to balance that. So first of all, I've decided to lock into making content here on YouTube and on TikTok. I'm lucky enough to have a couple of brands that I'm an affiliate for, and I really want to make good content for them, as well as just making content for myself and my audience. My numeric goal is to hit 10,000 followers on TikTok this year. Fingers crossed. If you found me on here and you don't follow me on TikTok, the link is in the description. I just really enjoy making content and I like sharing my life, and I hope there are people that enjoy watching it. Sorry, my light died, so I just had to charge that for a second, but we're back. So the thing that's sort of counterintuitive to the whole locking in, posting more on social media is that I want to do things outside of being on my phone, which literally sounds like the complete opposite of the resolution I just told you, but let me explain. When I say I want time off my phone, I mean less doom scrolling, less completely useless time wasting. I didn't plug my mic back in, forgot. Okay, so we're back. When I'm on my phone, I want to be filming content or editing content, posting content, and that's about it. I want to spend as little time just doom scrolling, particularly on Instagram Reels. I don't know why, but I'm obsessed with Instagram Reels for some reason. And anytime I am on my phone and I am scrolling, it's with intention, you know, engaging with other people's posts to help my own engagement on TikTok, for example. I do want to pursue what people are calling analog hobbies. I think that's so sweet. I've been seeing loads of content about that, loads of TikToks about that. And that is something that I want to engage in as well, is doing things outside of the digital world. So for example, reading, I love to read, I've always loved to read, but for some reason I've always tended to choose my phone over reading. So I'm making the active choice to not do that this year. I'm currently reading Swan Song, I'm really enjoying it. I read it every night before bed. I'm just over halfway through, and I want to read, I made a list of all the books I want to read this year as well, so that's another thing. Currently got 7 books on my to read in 2026 list, and I'll keep updating that as time goes on. So I definitely plan to do more of that. Another thing is journaling and writing. I kept a journal while I was on my travels. I'll just grab it so you can see. So here it is, and I think you could probably call it like a junk journal type thing. I kept loads of scraps of things from the trip. I bought stickers, I bought postcards and things to stick in here. Like, the pages look like that. And then I wrote about every place that we went, as Copenhagen. And of course, as you can see, I decorated the covers. And now this is like something that's so important, like it's such an important possession of mine and something that I will look back on in years to come and love. And I'd like that for general life as well, not just travel. So writing things down, you know, collecting things, stickers, all of that sort of stuff is something I want to do more of this year. As well as that scrapbooking, I got all my photos from my travels printed and I've started making a scrapbook of them. That's just something, again, that I really enjoy. It's an activity you don't have to put a lot of thought into, and that's really nice, something really relaxing. I also knit, I play piano, I like to bake. So like all of these things I want to do more of and spend less time just doom scrolling on my phone. And I think that's that for sort of the hobbies type theme. Moving on to money, one of my big resolutions this year is to be better generally with money, because I'm not good at saving. I have a bit of a spending habit. I like to shop. And this year there's a lot of change happening. I'm going away for 3 months. I'm then going to uni, so I need to be more careful with my money. Something I did last year when I was saving to travel was making a spreadsheet with a budget, tracking what I'm spending, tracking what's going into what savings accounts. And if I hadn't done that and made those spreadsheets, then there's no way I would have had enough money to go traveling with. So I'm going to do that again. Every time a paycheck comes in, I'll put it in a spreadsheet and plan out what's going to happen with that money and try and stick to it as best as I can. Since I'm doing content creation, I'm also hopeful that I'll be able to make a little bit of money out of it, depending on how things go. I'm doing TikTok shop affiliation, which is a really easy way to make money through it. Even if it's just a little bit, everything helps. I also sell things on Vinted. I want to do more of that and then try my best to not just immediately spend what's in my Vinted wallet and actually, you know, keep it and save it. So yeah, those are sort of my goals relating to money and saving. Now my final category of goals for this video is mental health and well-being. Generally, I'm doing really well with my mental health in a way that I didn't through my teen years, so I just want to keep sort of being mindful of that and making sure I'm protecting my peace, as they say. This links back to my hobbies, doing more analog things off of my phone. Everyone knows that a lot of time on social media can affect your mental health, make you more anxious, comparing yourself to other people and that sort of stuff. So definitely spending less time on social media needlessly. And again, analog activities, you know, journaling, writing down how I'm feeling. I have a lot of thoughts, and to get them out would probably be quite healthy. Also spending time with people. I have felt in the past couple of years a little bit isolated. Most of my friends go to uni, leaving me on my own where I live. But even just spending more time with family, really making the effort with people, seeing my friends as much as possible when they're home. And then of course going to uni and hopefully making friends there as well. Also just going out and doing fun things with people. I went bowling recently with my dad, and that was actually really fun. Going on walks, going on coffee dates. I also really like card games and board games, so having like games evenings I find really fun. Another thing is spending more time in nature. I'm very lucky to have loads of beauty around me where I live. Beaches and forests and great walks. I love walking, I want to do more of that. So those are all things that are really important for me to improve my mental health this year. Final thing with that is that I would like to be better in having routines and making plans for my days, particularly my days off from work. I tend to just wake up late and then not really know what to do with myself and be a bit lazy. So that is something else as well, making sure I plan well what I'm going to do to be productive and not feel down. Because a lot of the time I end up doing nothing and then I feel a bit crap. So that's something else as well. And getting better sleep is definitely on my list too. I really want to get into a better sleep routine because I've been really tired recently. So that is another one of my goals. I think that's all for this video. I really hope you've enjoyed listening to me share my 2026 goals. Maybe it's helped you feel inspired. If you have any thoughts or want to share your goals with me, please leave a comment down below. That would be brilliant. I'd love to hear the resolutions that people have. I love stuff that's, you know, a bit random and not necessarily your typical type of resolution. So do share if you have any of those. I'd be interested to know. And I think that is all. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.